Hi everyone, I'm Sugadha and you're watching Ready with HR and I hope so you all are well. And yes, this is day 9 recruiter workshop. Welcome back to this workshop. I hope so you all are watching these sessions. Today this is day 9 and we are going to discuss about what we are going to discuss recruitment metrics and analytics, right? And this is very interesting because yes, this is metrics and related with HR metrics, general HR metrics, general HR metrics as well. Okay, so let's have a quick recap from day 1 to day 8. If you don't want to see this recap, you can skip to 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so let's get started. First is on day 1 we have discussed about introduction to recruitment. What is recruitment? What is recruitment process? Who are recruiters? What are the role of recruiters? Importance of recruiters, and what are the current trends and challenges we face during recruitment nowadays? Then on day 2, we have discussed about understanding job requirements, how we can understand the job requirements, what is actually a job requirement, and how we can align organizational goals, and what are key competencies and skills are required as per organizational objectives. This we have discussed on day 2. On day 3 we have discussed another interesting session, and that was what? That was sourcing strategies, basically sourcing techniques and even the advantages and disadvantages attached to different sourcing techniques. So this was an interesting session. You can check this. Next, on day 4 we have discussed about candidate screening and evaluation. We have sourced so many candidates, we have bulk data. Now how to screen that and how to evaluate that. This is what candidate screening and evaluation tells. Next, on day 5, we have discussed about interview techniques, interview strategies, what all interview techniques are there, how they are important, and lot about it. On day 6, we have discussed about how we can build a strong employer brand. Yes, employer brand helps lot in recruitment. Whenever we go for recruitment, whenever we recruit people, whenever we converse with them, then yes, our brand matters lot. On day 7, we have discussed about diversity and inclusion. And yes, diversity, what is diversity, what is inclusion, and why we are talking about this diversity and inclusion in hiring in recruitment. On day 8 we have discussed finally how we can negotiate with the candidate, how to issue offer letter, a lot about offer letter, and then onboarding, how we can hire new employees, how we can conduct onboarding. Now, if you want to, this was all about recap. If you want to check detailed sessions regarding this, like if you want to know about onboarding, then yes, I have a proper playlist where I have given onboarding program and all about onboarding. So you can check from my other channel that is ready to get update. That's in Hindi language. If you're well versed in Hindi, then you can check that channel. Otherwise, yes, I have uploaded several videos on this channel as well. You can find from HR recruiter playlist and human resource HR playlist. Okay, and one more HR course in English is there. You can check that out as well. Okay, so let's get started with key recruitment metrics and what are the significance, and make sure to subscribe this channel if you're watching me for the very first time, and do hit that cute notification bell icon so that you could get my updates later on as well. So quickly we are going to check about the key recruitment metrics and their significance. Next, tracking and analyzing recruitment data, and using analytics to optimize the recruitment process. These three things we are going to check in this video. So let's get started. First of all, let's start with the key recruitment metrics and their significance. So yes, we all know that recruitment metrics provide valuable insights into the effectiveness and efficiency of the hiring process. So what are some key metrics and what are their importance? We are going to discuss this. So first and foremost is time to fill. As the name suggests, you can understand time to fill. How much time we are taking to fill. But yes, has a catch. So let's understand what is this about. The average number of days it takes to fill a position from the moment the job is posted to the acceptance of the offer by the candidate. Here you have to calculate from what point? From the point when the job is posted to the acceptance of the offer by the candidate. This time we have to consider when we are calculating time to fill. And yes, what is the importance? What is the significance? That indicates the efficiency of the recruitment process, how efficient we are. Moment the job is posted and acceptance of the offer by the candidate. There is a big recruitment process in between. So, a shorter time to fill can reduce cost and prevent productivity loss due to vacant positions. Okay, this is so, but yes, it's important to balance the speed with the quality of hire. Next is time to hire. Again, you can understand by the name time to hire, how much time we take to hire. Now, the time it takes from the moment a candidate enters the pipeline, example could be like application submission, to the acceptance of the job offer. Now, here you can understand the difference. In time to fill, we were counting from the moment of the job posted, means when the job was posted, from that time to the acceptance of the offer. Now, here we are counting from where? We are counting from a moment candidate enters the pipeline, that is application submission. Finally, he is submitting the application and to the acceptance of the job offer. So this is actual time to hire, means that candidate is interested, right? Their time to fill, we have posted the job posting and how much time we took to fill till the acceptance of the offer, and time to hire actually that candidate, means when the candidate applied to that post, enters to the pipeline, and then yes to the acceptance. Okay, if you are not able to understand, you can again go back and then check time to fill and time to hire. Fine. Next, what is the importance? Reflects the candidate experience and the efficiency of the selection process. How efficient we are in selecting a candidate. Said candidate has already applied. Now, how much time we took to select the candidate and till obviously up to the acceptance of the job offer. So obviously shorter times can improve candidates' satisfaction and reduce the risk of losing top candidates to competitors. All the competitors are searching people for the same post. We have to analyze that time, how much time we took to fill that post, to fill that vacancy. Okay. Next is cost per hire. So the total cost associated with hiring a new employee, including advertising, recruiter fees, travel expenses, relocation cost, that we will divide by the number of hires. You can understand this, whatever the cost is associated with that recruitment, particular recruitment that we are allocating, and obviously yes, divided by the number of hires. This is very simple, anyone can do this. Okay, and obviously what is the importance? We can understand, it helps to know the budget, we can do budgeting properly, understand the financial investment required for hiring, particular hiring took particular cost. Now next, for the future I have budget, I can invest this amount, that's in my hand. It also highlights areas where the cost efficiency can be improved, where we can improve. Okay. Next is quality of hire. A measure of the value new hires bring to the organization, often assessed through performance evaluations, retention rates, and feedback from managers. Now you can understand this is quality of hire. Quality, we are not talking about quantity. We have already talked about this time to fill, time to hire, cost per hire. Here we are talking about quality of hire. What kind of candidate we are hiring? We hired people in hurry. Oh, I have to fill the position. I have to tell my manager, I have to tell my boss, my supervisor, yes, I have fulfilled my target. That's why I have recruited anyone, not not right person at right time, at right position, at right place. I focused on filling, only filling. Whoever the candidate is, I have done some formalities and I have hired. No, here we are talking about quality of hire, because yes, if you will hire like this, people will not retain in the company, because yes, they are not eligible, properly eligible for that position. Obviously, they will go. And yes, we will get the feedback from the managers and performance evaluations. So what is the importance? What is the significance of this quality of hire? This particular metrics indicates the effectiveness of the recruitment process in selecting candidates who perform well and stay with the company. High quality hires contribute positively to organizational performance and culture. That's obvious. Okay. Next is offer acceptance rate. This is interesting because see, the percentage of job offers accepted by candidates compared to the total number of offers extended. Simple. What I've done, I have extended 50 offers. Only 20 people accepted, or only 5 people accepted, only 10 people accepted. This is the percentage. Now, what's the importance? Yes, reflects the attractiveness of the job offer and the company's employer brand. A low acceptance rate may indicate issues with the offer package, company reputation, or the recruitment process. Definitely, low acceptance rate may indicate issues with the offer package. Okay, whatever package you're offering, or yes, company reputation, and it could be the recruitment process as well. Okay, next matrix is source of hire. Again, as the name suggests, source of hire. So it identifies the channels through which successful candidates were sourced. Actually, they were sourced. What were the sourcing strategies? We have discussed that sourcing strategies in day 3. On day 3, we have discussed. So that was job boards, social media, employee referrals, and other as well. So here we can identify the channels through which successful candidates were sourced. And what is the importance? It will help determine the most effective recruitment channels, enabling the optimization of sourcing strategies and allocation of resources. Means if I have to hire same profile people in future, then yes, what I would be doing, I would be checking this, that from which source I got a lot of candidates, from which source I got actual candidates, we hired from which source actually, and yes, we can allocate the resources there. Okay, so from here we can know this. Now these were the metrics, key recruitment metrics. Yes, there are several other metrics, but I have discussed those metrics which are more relevant. You can check other metrics as well, and if you have any queries, yes, you can post in the comment section. Next is tracking and analyzing recruitment data. Yes, how we can track and analyze recruitment data. We all know that effective tracking and analysis of recruitment data provides insights that help optimize the hiring process. We can improve hiring process later on for future. So, what kind of approach we have to use? First and foremost is data collection, and here comes applicant tracking system. Use an ATS to automate the collection and management of recruitment data. An ATS can track applications, candidate progress, and communication. Okay. Yes, we have discussed about ATS several times in my sessions. So we all know that it definitely helps tracking applications, candidate progress, and yes, communication. Next is standardized data. Ensure data is standardized across all recruitment activities. Same kind of data we are analyzing. This includes consistent formats for dates, job titles, sources, and stages of the hiring process. Okay. So yes, you need to understand this, that data should be standardized. It should be in same format. It should not be like we are analyzing on different basis. We are collecting data on different basis. Okay, that should not be the case. Next is key performance indicators, and yes, I have a great session on this. I have done one session, key performance indicators, KPIs and KRAs, and what is the difference between both. You can check that on my other channel, Ready to Get Update, and yes, if you need here, you can tell me. Okay, so define KPIs. You have to establish clear KPIs based on the organization's recruitment goals. It should be on the basis of goals, recruitment goals. Common KPIs could be, yes, as we have discussed above, time to fill, cost per hire, and quality of hire. Regular monitoring is required. KPIs, we need regular monitor KPIs to identify trends, patterns, and errors needing improvement. Again, see, monitoring, supervision, these feedback, these things helps us to identify the errors for improvement. So you need to use dashboards and reports to visualize data and track progress. Okay. Next is data analysis. Identify patterns. Analyze data to identify patterns and trends. For example, okay, let's take an example. Track which sources consistently yield high quality candidates, or identify stages in the process where candidates drop out. We need to understand where the candidates drop out. Is it after first call? Is it after face-to-face interview? Is it after virtual interview? Is it after accepting offer or before negotiation? something. Okay, so we need to analyze this. Next is, yes, benchmarking. Compare recruitment metrics against industry benchmarks to assess performance. This helps identify strengths and areas where the organization may be lagging. You have to identify strengths and areas where the organizations may be lagging. Okay, next is actionable insights. You have to interpret data. Now, interpret the data to generate actionable insights. You don't need to interpret data just, okay, we are doing interpreting data. Which kind of data we are interpreting? No, we have to take some actions. For instance, okay, if the time to fill is increasing, investigate potential bottlenecks in the process where things are stuck. We need to check this. Okay. Next is feedback loop. Create a feedback loop to continuously improve the recruitment process. Use insights from data analysis to implement changes and measure their impact. Okay, this is important. Again, I always say feedback is important to improve the processes. Now, next and the last is using analytics to optimize the recruitment process. What is this? Okay, let's try to understand this. Let's deep dive into it. So, leveraging analytics can significantly enhance the recruitment process by making it more data driven and efficient. And how to use analytics effectively? First is predictive analytics, forecasting needs. Use predictive analytics to forecast hiring needs based on historical data and business growth projections. This helps in proactive workforce planning. How? See, we have to do workforce planning, okay? But on what basis? We have to forecast hiring needs. That could be on historical data plus business growth projections. Next is candidate success. Analyze historical data to identify characteristics and behaviors that predict candidate success. Use these insights to refine selection criteria and improve quality of hire. Okay, so yes, we all know that historical data helps a lot of people say, okay, past gone, but yes, whenever we are talking about analytics, then yes, we have to analyze historical data, and that is obviously past data. So not only behavior, past behavior, past data also helps us. Okay, next is identifying bottlenecks. What is this? Process efficiency. Analyze each stage of the recruitment process to identify bottlenecks or inefficiencies. Okay, let's take an example. If a significant number of candidates drop out after the initial interview, okay, investigate and address potential issues in that stage. Something is there. Why the significant number of candidates are dropping out after the initial interview every time? Okay, so we must check, and yes, we must improve. We must find the areas where we have to improve. What's happening actually? Next is cycle time analysis. Break down the recruitment process into specific stages and measure the time taken for each. Identify stages with the longest cycle times and work on streamlining them. Why it's happening? Why at particular stage time involvement is more? Why people are taking time at that stage? What's happening? How can we streamline that? Okay. Next is enhancing sourcing strategies. Again, an important one. Source effectiveness. Use analytics to evaluate the effectiveness of different sourcing channels. Identify which sources yield the highest quality candidates and focus resources on those channels, as we have discussed in the second as well. That yes, we have to identify the effectiveness of the different sourcing channels, and in future also it can help us to allocate our resources there, focusing particularly more on that source. Okay. Next is cost efficiency. Compare the cost effectiveness of various sourcing methods. Determine which methods provide the best return on investment and adjust strategies accordingly. Now, yes, obviously cost matters a lot. So we have to compare the cost effectiveness of various sourcing methods. That's important. Don't ignore this. And even if we are using, high cost method, then why we are using, what are the advantages, disadvantages? You need to compare this. Okay, so this is what we are analyzing from here so that we can improve on different areas. Next is improving candidate experience. Yes, this is important, as I always include this. Candidate feedback. You need to collect and analyze candidate feedback on their experience with the recruitment process. Identify pain points and implement changes to improve the overall candidate experience. Don't think, oh, candidate will say such negative things about us. They will say a lot many things negative. No, it's not always. You can differentiate between the actual and just backbiting or something. Just negative things or a feedback. You can differentiate between both. If you would be taking the candidate experience from every candidate, if you would be taking the feedback from every candidate, you would be able to differentiate. If you would be taking the feedback only from one or two candidates or random five candidates or someone, then yes, you might be having confusion in your mind that the feedback is correct or not. Okay, so you must take the feedback from everyone. Again, engagement metrics. Track candidate engagement metrics such as response times and interaction levels to ensure timely and effective communication throughout the process. This is important. Track candidate engagement metrics such as, yes, response time, interaction levels. That's important. Optimizing offer acceptance. Important again. Optimizing. Analyze declines. Analyze data on offer declines to identify common reasons. What are the common reasons? Okay, address these issues by adjusting offer packages, improving employer branding, or refining the negotiation process. Again, you have to adjust offer packages. You need to check, you need to do market research, you need to check your competitors' packages, and then you have to do this. Next is competitive benchmarking. Compare offer packages with the industry standards to ensure they are competitive, as I told you about this in the first itself. Use analytics to determine the optimal mix of salary, benefits, and perks. Many times it happens that people don't want monetary much, but yes, if you would be providing a combination, then they will be happy. Okay, so this was all regarding recruitment metrics. So if I have to summarize, then yes, I can say by focusing on key recruitment metrics, tracking and analyzing data, and using analytics to optimize the recruitment process, organizations can make more informed decisions, and that can improve efficiency and enhance the overall effectiveness of their hiring efforts. This data-driven approach leads to better talent acquisition outcomes and contributes to the organization's long-term success. Okay, so this is all about what? Key recruitment metrics. And I think this was an important session. You people were asking about metrics a lot of time. And in the next session, day 10, that will be a last session. If you have any queries, please post queries over here so that I can take queries in the next session. In the last session, day 10, that will be related to legal compliances, statutory compliances, and we are going to discuss a lot of things like legal compliances and recruitment, about equal employment opportunity laws and ethical considerations. Okay, so be here and please post queries if you have, and I would be taking the queries in that, or yes, in the comment section. So yes, if it's helpful, please do let me know in the comment section. Till next video, all the very best. To stay happy, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.